Many pop groups who started out in the 60s were totally forgotten about by the end of the decade. However, there are a few notable exceptions, including this next band. For over 30 years, they've maintained their popularity on both sides of the Atlantic. And they've recently released a new album called JTull.com. Now, J. Tull was probably giving it away. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to welcome to the Kelly Studios, Jethro Tull.
Catching the wind, the gentlest of breezes. It's a sensitive passage she's sailing through stormy straits, navigates my unfathomable failings. She rises before me, reading me clearly. Empty nest left pressed in the pillow. She can shift, she can sway and bend like a willow. She bends like a willow. I'm swept in the riptide, caught in a fish trap, gift wrapped in my soft self-center. Summer sun leaves me as one who can only taste winter. She's a good godsend. She can bend like a willow. To cover me quickly, I'm cool under enemy fire. If I fall, she can crawl right under the wire. When I'm caustic and cold, she might dare to be bold. Ease me round to her warm way of thinking. Fill me up from the cup of love that she's drinking. And I find, given time, I can bend like a willow. She bends like a willow. Bends like a willow. Like a willow.
Okay.
I doubt it, but okay. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
Okay, we just can't get enough of these guys. Ian Anderson and a couple of his Jethro Tull bandmates perform one of their many classics.
I tried a no-name long-distance company because the savings sounded...
Vote for both of this week's jukeboxes. First, call...
It's at the hands of a professional star.
Hey, welcome back. Jethro Tull starts their U.S. tour this weekend. Tonight we hear some of the members play one of their Aqualung classics, Mother Goose.
As Hyde and walked by Hampstead Fair, I came upon Mother Goose. So I turned her loose while she was screaming. And a foreign student said to me, was it really true? There are elephants and lions too in Piccadilly Circus. Walked down by the bathing pond to try and catch some sun. Must have been 100 schoolgirls sobbing into handkerchiefs as one. I don't believe they knew I was a schoolboy. And a bearded lady said to me, if you start your raving and you're misbehaving, you'll be sorry. And the chicken fancier came to play with his long red beard, and his sister's weird, she drives a lorry. Locked down by the putting green, they popped them in their holes. 4 and 20 laborers were laboring and digging up their gold. I don't believe they knew that I was Long John Silver. Saw Johnny Scarecrow make his rounds in his jet black Mac, which he won't give back, stole it from a snowman. As Hyde and walked by Hampstead Fair, I came upon Mother Goose, so I turned her loose while she was screaming.
Here they are, everybody. 27 years, and they are still together and still one of the big hits in the music world, Jethro Tull. Nice to have you here.
What a pleasure.
Real names are Ian Anderson, of course, and Martin Barr on guitar, and Andrew Giddings on keyboards, and there are 2 other members who are...
Who will be busy tonight on stage again at the Beacon Theatre. Yeah.
We couldn't afford the entire group today, but we're so glad the 3 of you came.
So the other 2 are the expensive guys as well.
Yeah.
We're cheap.
So there's nobody named Jethro Tull.
Not anymore, no. There was once upon a time, back in the 18th century, an agriculturalist, an inventor called Jethro Tull, who we ended up being named after. Wasn't my idea.
But you had a lot of names before you got to Jethro Tull.
Yeah, we were called something different every week.
Like what?
Well, we were so bad when we started, the only way we could get rebooked into the blues clubs was... Oh, shall I tell it to you again?
Well, I just read it in quite a few of the articles about you that...
I haven't heard it. Tell me.
And they haven't heard it either.
Yeah.
No, we had a different name every week because the only way we could get rebooked is to change our name, pretend to be somebody different. And
Not bad, huh?
the only way we knew who we were was we would arrive at a club and look down the list of names and see if there was a name we didn't recognize, we thought, that must be us.
I thought thought it was because you were so rowdy, not so bad.
No, we were just plain bad.
Well, then you got the name Jethro Tull, and the audience for the first time seemed to really like you, and you got invited back.
Yeah, it wasn't because we were called Jethro Tull. It just happened to be the time we got invited to play every week at the famous Marquee Club, which was kind of like the Fillmore East in those days. It was a place where everybody started.
And to sort of put this in historical perspective, at this time, the Rolling Stones were looking for a record deal. Ringo had just become the Beatles' drummer, so we're going back a ways.
Well, yeah, not quite that far back, but...
And you need a new publicist, because that's what it said in your article.
Well, shall we review some of the great classic songs? Now, here's the cover song from J.S. Bach, Bori.
That's right. We're one of the best-known bands in the world never to really have had hits, but we know what you're getting at. Yeah.
That's what I always loved about your music. It had symphonic overtones.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
almost sounds like you heard that one before.
And you guys at times sat down to literally write something that you thought would be totally non-commercial, and then it would become a hit, to your amazement? Or
we were on our first American tour back in 1969, and our manager said, while we're out of the UK, we've got to have something to keep the pot boiling, you know, while we're away from home. So write us a hit. Okay, yeah, give me a couple of hours. So just to tease him, you know, I wrote the most uncommercial thing I could think of, which was in 5/4, which isn't really terribly good for dancing to unless you have 2.5 legs.
But it clicked.
It certainly,
Yes.
well, it clicked with somebody because they seem to go
Living
by
in
it.
the past.
Yeah.
fine musicianship, you know, that's...
You know, so the flute, was that always your primary instrument, Ian?
No, it wasn't. I started off being a very bad guitar player, and which I could demonstrate for you amply now. No, I was a guitar player.
But the flute gives the whole thing a different sound, you know?
That's right. Well, I thought it was a good idea to try and do something a little different from everybody else, so I started that when I was 20 years old.
Is that right?
I took up the flute. That's too short for me. And it was, yeah, it was fun, you know, but it wasn't the kind of thing a blues band did back then to say the flute.
And they still don't, actually.
Met with some disapproval, I think, from some quarters. But I, you know, switched back to the guitar sometimes just to amuse myself.
Well, we switched back now, and this was a song out of the Red Rock days in Colorado?
Yeah, this was the first, when we premiered the Thick as a Brick tour back then, our first date was actually to a full-scale riot. I mean, there were 11,000 people. They were dropping CS gas into the audience from helicopters. The police overreacted just a tad.
What were they rioting about?
Well, the fact they couldn't get in, you know, because it was full up, so they turned police cars over and set fire to them. As kids did back then.
Sure.
Of course, now they're much better behaved.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Things are getting so much better.
Yeah, I have two of them. They're much better behaved.
Okay. All right, here's Thick as a Brick.
Really don't mind if you sit this one out. My words but a whisper, your deafness a shout. I may make you feel, but I can't make you think. Your sperm's in the gutter, your love's in the sink.
Irish lilt to it, doesn't it?
Well, Scotland. Ian, it's originally you're from
Do
Scotland.
I hear an Irish lilt in there, or is that Scottish, or what is that certain sound that, you know?
Uptown Manhattan. Yeah. It's cheap hotel, Uptown Manhattan. It's and basically I am Scottish originally.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of it shows, at least
I think
not
it
at least
does
above the
in
waist.
your
No.
music. Definitely.
No, I wear a sporran is what I'm getting at. You know, there's the famous container of precious valuables. The sporran. You know, we wear it with our kilts, yes. Like a purse.
Oh, the sporran, is that one under your kilt?
Yeah.
He thought you were talking dirty.
No, I still don't follow
The
you.
sporran you wear outside the kilt.
Oh, outside the kilt.
The haggis
I
is
thought
inside the kilt.
in America we call that a jock. But anyway, we're going to come right back with Jethro.
Talked to us the other day before playing a scaled-down version of their latest release.
I'm not quite sure why Jethro Tull is thought of being you know, a great live band. I mean, I can understand with Bruce Springsteen and, you know, and a bunch of other people that it really is a question of get on stage and deliver every night. Jethro Tull feels from the inside, it's a little shaky, you know, and we're kind of always chasing something we never quite get to, you know, in terms of performance. So it just must be the magic of showbiz, folks, because what seems like a very precarious performance from my point of view every night, if that's what works for the folks out there, then, you know, we're definitely inhabiting the same universe, if temporarily. If I was a tennis player, I think I would probably be, I would have shot myself by now for sure, because, you know, at 30, it really is all over. I mean, you just aren't competitive in the top flight game anymore. But as a musician, you may have another 20 or 30, 40 years ahead of you. If you're Muddy Waters or Dave Gilmour from Pink Floyd, who just has to stand there while the pigs and things fly around over his head. But if you're a physical performer like me, and the audience expect that physical, you know, gut-wrenching performance, you know, or if you're Tina Turner or Mick Jagger or Michael Jackson, I mean, you're on there to kind of really be physically engaged with the music. And therefore, there has to be a finite upper limit on the time you can carry on doing this stuff. But unlike the tennis player, maybe we can stretch it out to the age of 50 or 55, but I have a feeling that when 60 looms, it's going to look pretty stupid. Rare and Precious Chain was actually recorded, I think, in the middle of the tour that I did with a solo project called Divinities earlier this year, being a sort of project for EMI's classical music division, a sort of instrumental flute thing. But we just kind of slotted that one right in the middle of the tour, and so it was just recorded, 2 songs were recorded and finished in Saturday and Sunday of a weekend. And I love the songs that were that quick. You know, they didn't exist on Friday. And by Sunday, they were in the can, wrapped up, digitally mastered and ready to go.
Here's Jethro Tull with Rare and Precious Chain.
Rare and precious chain, do I have to tell you once again, under red lights on soft nights, it all comes back to you. Rare and precious chain binds me to your soul round gently pulsing veins. Share good times, feel love's bites coming back to you. No golden fools, no hostage taking, no engagement rules to leave you forsaken. Tiny beads of sweat, thin diamond glistening around your neck. Forgotten rooms, black catacombs, they all come back to you. No glittering prizes, no sharply worded telegram, no excuses for the word weary, no excuses for who I am. It's a rare and precious chain. Around your neck I place it once again. Drawn finger tight, feel love's bites coming back to you. Under red lights on soft nights, it all comes back to you.
Here's Jethro Tull. Mr. Pegg, would you do us the honors of explaining what we're about to hear from you?
Well, we're about to play you a little instrumental featuring Mr. Anderson on the flute, and it's called Serenade to a Cuckoo.
Singing and such from Jethro Tull in a few minutes after these things from our sponsors. This is Martin Barr, this is Dave Pegg. They are Jethro Tull. I am not.
Well, Kevin, listen, I mean, you could be clearer than that.
Well, I'll diagram it later. You folks ever thought about doing like a whole acoustic album, or?
Not until this morning, but this definitely has possibilities. I can see us in another 10 years' time doing the cruise ships and really cleaning up, you know?
Yeah, and they're so portable. You can take them into subways and everything.
Cruise ships? I've never seen a cruise ship in a subway, but I know what you do.
Well, maybe we better just get to the song then.
Right. This is called Skating Away on the Thin Ice of the New Day. Inveterate optimism here, in terms of getting it right.
And as you push off from the shore, won't you turn your head once more? Make your peace with everyone. For those that choose to stay, we live just one more day to do the things I should have done. And as you cross the wilderness, spinning in your emptiness, you feel you have to pray, looking for a sign that the universal mind has written you into the passion play. Skating away, skating away, skating away on a thin ice of a new day. And as you cross the circle line, well, the Oswald Creek's behind. You're a rabbit on the run. And as the silver splinters fly in the corner of your eye, shining in the setting sun, but do you ever get the feeling that the story's too damn real and the president's tense? All that everybody's on the stage, and it seems like you're the only person sitting in the audience. Skating away, skating away, skating away on a thin ice of a new day. Skating away, skating away, skating away. Way.
Well, it was so lovely.
Oh, Kevin,
you brought
you're
back your coffee.
Kevin, you're a sport.
So you folks, you've been regaling us, so it just put me in the mind to ask you about your tour plans.
Well, our tour plans are we're sort of in the middle of it. We've just been out in Europe, darkest, deepest Europe for the last 5 weeks, playing to all the variety of ethnic types that you meet over in that side of the Atlantic. And we're here now on another 5-week stint, 2 dates into it, and playing
I think next in the New York area, we'll be in Meadowlands. Meadowlands Arena is one of the places we're doing. That's an exciting place.
Very exciting.
Clean dressing rooms. Oh, what a lovely facility, as you would call it.
Well, we're happy to have you by. And if you need any sugar, let me know.
I'll let you know, Kevin.
From Jethro Tull.
When you're falling awake and you take stock of the new day, and you hear your voice croak as you choke on what you need to say. Well, don't you fret, don't you fear, I will give you good cheer. Life's a long song. Life's a long song. Life's a long song. If you wait, then you'll play it, I will fail. As the verses unfold and your soul suffers the long day, and the 12 o'clock plume spins the room, you struggle on your way. Sigh, don't you cry, lick the dust from your eye. Life's a long song. Life's a long song. Life's a long song. But the tune ends too soon for a song. Silence howling, yes, he catches angels as they fall, and the all-time winner has got him by the balls. Yes, he kicks up Gideon's Bible, it's open at page 1. I think the God, he stole a handle and a train, it won't stop going, no it will. Slow down, no way to slow down, no way to slow down.
their classic hits earlier. Now let's watch Jethro Tull perform another Up the Pool.
2, 3, 4. I'm going up the pool from down the smoke below to taste me mum's jam, sunnies, and see our empty flow. The candy floss salesman wants his ladies in a send down for a freaky weekend in the hope that they'll be meeting Mr. Universe.
Well, you'd never know.
The Iron Tower smiles down upon the silver sea, and along the Golden Mile they'll be swinging mugs of tea. The politicians there have come to take the air while posing for the daily press. They'll look around and blame the mess on Edward Bear. There'll be buckets, spades, and bingo goggles, mussels, rainy days, seaweed and some castles, icy waves, deck chairs, rubber dinghies, old fast braces dangling down, suntan stranded starfish in a daze.
We're going up the pool from down the smoke below to taste me mum's jam sunnies and to see our auntie flow.
The candy floss salesman watches ladies in the sand down for a freaky weekend in the hope that they'll be meeting Mr. Universe.
Well, you never know.
There'll be buckets, spades, and bingo goggles, mussels, rainy days, seaweed and sand castles, icy waves, deck chairs, rubber dinghies, old vest braces dangling down, suntan stranded starfish in a daze.
Hey, good old Blackpool. It's turned out nice again, isn't it?
Wat je Ian Anderson ook moet nageven, is dat hij in ieder geval de dwarsfluit heeft geïntroduceerd in de rockmuziek. Ian, good evening.
Don't believe a word of it. Don't believe a word of it.
So are you aware that you're still the only one that is structurally working with the flute in rock music?
Well, that's not really true. There's the Moody Blues still have the flute when they go out and do their tours. But I guess to most people, I'm the flute player in rock music. Yeah. And I'm certainly the only one-legged flute player in rock music. So I have my little territory staked out and have my job, and no one can take it away from me yet.
You're going to do a number of songs tonight in 2-meter sessions. Which is the first one?
Well, the first one doesn't actually involve the flute. The first one is way back from the early days of Jethro Tull, when we were a little blues band playing in the clubs and pubs around London. And so from our very first album in 1968, we'll do one of the tracks that kind of set us up at the Marquee Club when I played harmonica standing on one leg, because the truth was that it was actually harmonica I used to play standing on one leg, not the flute. But the press folks who came to see us said, he plays the flute and he stands on one leg. So they put those two things together. And then I had to learn to play the flute standing on one leg, because that's what the press wrote about. But that's the interesting story behind it. It's really the harmonica, but I shall play that on two legs just to be difficult.
Right.
This is one from our first album. It's called Someday the Sun Won't Shine for You.
Together, I'm packing up and I'm leaving this place. I don't believe you'll cry, there'll be a smile upon your face. I didn't think how much you'd hurt me. Well, that's something that I laugh about. Bringing the good times, baby, and let the bad times out. To be thick as a brick. All right. And the sandcastle virtues are all swept away in the tidal destruction of moral malaise. The elastic retreat brings a close of play. As the last wave uncovers the newfangled way. But your new shoes are worn at the heels, and your suntan is rapidly healed, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick. And the love that I feel is so far away. I'm a bad dream that I just had today. Well, and you shake your head, said it's a shame. Shuffling madness of the locomotive breath runs the all-time loser headlong to his death. Well, he feels the piston scraping, the steam breaking on his brow. Oh, Charlie, he stole a handle in a train and stop going, no way to slow down, and no way to slow down. Howling, yes, he catches angels as they fall, and the all-time winner has got him by the balls. Well, he picks up Gideon's Bible, yes, it's open at page 1. I think that God, he stole a handle and a train, it won't stop going. No way to slow down. Yeah, no way to slow down. No way to slow down. Yeah, no way to slow down. Oh, no way to slow down. No way to slow down. No way to slow down. No way to slow down.
To do this session with a smaller instruments, not the big setup that you normally use on a stage. Why this small setup?
Because we just came back from America from touring there. So we wanted to keep this simple. So we just brought our instruments. I said to the band, only bring to this TV show what you can carry in your hands, because we all have to get on a plane and no one to help us, just, you know, so one thing each. So I brought my guitar case in one hand and my mandolin in the other, and so it's a simple setup.
You're the one who created the sound together with the members of the band, of course. A lot of people mention you as one of their big examples of all time, and they always start talking about the sound of Jethro Tull. What is so specific about that sound?
I think when we talk about the Jethro Tull sound, it's a little bit more complex than just being a flute. It's the mixture of acoustic music, which is what I do in the band. I'm the unplugged guy in a rock band, and I think that has a special something about it that people recognize. Plus the very eclectic influences, you know, that come from Asian music, from classical music, from folk music of Northwestern Europe, and then of course Black American blues, which is where we began. Yeah. And it's only when I realized that I was never going to wake up one morning and see myself in the mirror and see a black man, you know, staring back at me, that I thought, this is not really me. You know, if I'm going to be true to my origins, I should be you know, trying to assimilate other music forms.
It struck me that, especially during the sound check, you sing very low, and the instrument should stay very low as well. Why is that?
Because it's like what happens when if I'm writing a song and the other guys come to start working on an arrangement. You know, we're just sitting in a room in my house, just sitting closely together and just playing quietly and developing the ideas for the song. So it's very intimate, it's very personal. I just like doing it just like it is in as if we were at home. Yeah. You know, just making it very quiet and personal.
This sparkling wine is all but empty. Too late for trains and no taxis. I know the feeling seems all too contrived. There was no master plan, but the fact is you must stay with me and learn the secret language of birds. A tentative dawn, about to be breaking on a Rousseau garden with monkeys in hiding. The truth of the matter yet to be spoken in words on which everything's writing. Now stay with me and learn the secret language of birds. Stay with me and learn the secret language of birds. Circled by swallows in a world for the weary, wicked and eloquent trilling. Lie in the stillness, window cracked open, extended moments ours for the taking. Careless hair on the pillow, a bold brush stroke, painted verse with a chorus in waiting. Now stay with me and learn the secret language of birds. Now stay with me and learn the secret language of birds. Stay with me and learn the secret language of birds. Yeah, stay with me and learn the secret language of birds. Yeah, stay with me and learn the secret language of birds.
Hoorzaal in Leiden. Jethro Tull deed in oktober, op de 20e oktober, in Vredenburg, Utrecht een optreden. De dag daarvoor was hij bij ons te gast in de Wisseloord 1 studio voor een opname voor zijn 2 meter sessie. En daar gaan we nu weer naar terug. It's a wide world out there, so much wider than imagined. Can't quite put my finger on the pulse of your heart, softly beating just beneath the raw silk sheen that reflects the tints of autumn from the hills. So punch my name, and in case you wonder, I'll be yours.com. Executive accommodation, bland but nonetheless appealing. Waiters discreetly at your beck and call. Place the tall sundown potion lightly by your velvet elbow while you compose a message on the wall. So punch my name, and in case you wonder, I'll be yours.com. So punch my name, and in case you wonder, I'll be yours.com. Dressed down lightly for the heat. Give a clue, leave a kind word, hint us to a destination, a domain where our cyber souls might meet. So punch my name, and in case you wonder, I'll be yours.com. So punch my name, and in case you wonder, I'll
yours.com.
Hello, this is Edgar Winter, and this is Classic Rock.
Hi, this is Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull.
I'm Martin Burr, I'm the guitarist from Jethro Tull.
This is Classic Rock.
Jethro Tull started in England in '68 and were playing the clubs.
Because we were so bad when we started that the only way we could get rebooked into any of the clubs was to change our name and pretend to be somebody different. This young guy was given the responsibility of thinking of a new name for us each week, and we went through, I think, successive weeks when we were the John Evan Band, Navy Blue, Ian Henderson's Bag of Blues. At one point we came perilously close to being called Candy Coloured Rain, and finally Jethro Tull.
And that was the first night that the band got a rebooking. Jethro Tull was a historical figure in England. He was a clergyman, and his passion was farming.
The inventor of the seed drill and the author of a book called Horse Hoeing Husbandry. I don't mind the Tull. Tull's a good, earthy, straightforward, almost science fiction. It's not like the bad guy in a science fiction movie, you know, Tull, you know, some evil warlord on some faraway planet. It's just the Jethro bit I have a problem with. Sounds a bit kind of hillbilly and almost humorous, so.
Edgar Winter's up next on Classic Rock.
Hi, I'm Martin Barr from Jethro Tull, and I'm the one with the hat. Don't go away, we'll be right back with Classic Rock after this. Locomotive Beth wasn't meant to be anything special, it wasn't supposed to be a major title track of that album. But it just became popular, particularly in America.
You know, around 1970, I suppose, when Jethro Tull was beginning to have some real international success, it did feel sometimes a little bit like you couldn't get off, you know. In the case of this song, the idea of being on a locomotive, you know, crashing along at full steam and being unable to get off. You know, you don't know where it's going, but you know, you're stuck on. You can't get off this train. Somebody's in control, but you're not.
In the shuffling madness of the locomotive breath runs the all-time loser headlong to his death. Well, it feels a piston scraping, steam breaking on his crown. Old Charlie, he stole a handle, and the train, it won't stop going, no way to slow down. Oh, yeah. He sees his children jumping off at stations one by one. His woman and his best friends in bed and having fun. Well, he's running down the corridor on his hands and knees. Old Charlie, he stole a candle, and the train, it won't stop going, no way to slow down. Here's a silence howling. Yes, he catches angels as they fall. And the all-time winner has got him by the balls. When he picks up Gideon's Bible, it's open at page 1. A thing with God, he stole a candle and a train. It won't stop going, no way to slow down. No way to slow down. Oh, no way to slow down. 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 Oh, no way to slow down. slow down. No way to, no way to. Slow down.
Still to come, more great hits on Classic Rock.
Aqualung is a song of guilt. It's written about the homeless person, the tramp, the vagabond, the hobo. We can't cope with the guilt factor of saying, I have a warm bed, I'm going home to my wife, my big hot dinner. And I just hope that other people, when they think about that song, that it makes it a little easier for them to make the decision whether to extend the hand of kindness to a homeless person, or if they, like I do, sometimes chicken out and cross the road and pretend I didn't see it. At least it puts their own guilt into perspective for them. Beethoven was a heavy metal composer. I mean, this is a guy that went da-da-da-dum. You know, on a different day, he might have gone da-dum, da-dum, dum, chicka-chum, or he might have gone dum-dum-dum-dum, da-dum. You know, it could have been any of those things. So you've got these big sounding musical riffs, you know, these sort of, I mean, they are just bold motifs that are very memorable. With Aqualung, I think that's the whole point. It almost has this, almost like a classical statement. You know, the first thing that happens is the guitar, just out of the blue, is just playing da 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 dum.
Hey, sitting on the park bench, I hear little girls pouring bad intent. And snot running down his nose. Yeah, greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes. Yeah, Aqualung, he's crying in the cold sun, watching as the brave and his run. Yeah, Aqualung, and feeling like a dead duck, spitting out pieces of his broken rug. Yeah, Aqualung, the sun streaking cold, an old man wandering lonely, taking time the only way he knows. Leg hurting bad as he bends the big dark end. Well, he goes down to the bog and warms his feet. Feeling alone, the army's up the road. Salvation, alamode, and a cup of tea. Aqualung, my friend, don't you start away uneasy. Oh, you poor old sod, you see, it's only me. Do you still remember December's foggy breeze, when the eyes that cling onto your bill were screaming agony, and you slept rattling last breaths with deep-sea diver sounds, and the flowers bloom like madness in the spring. only me. Hey, hey. Hey, sitting on the park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intent. And snot running down his nose. Oh, greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes. Yeah, well, he's crying in the cold sun, watching as the pretty panties grow. Yeah, well, and feeling like a dead duck, spitting out pieces of his broken luck. Yeah, well,
Thick as a Brick, 1972. So that was the real Jethro Tull concept album. It was, of course, the years of Monty Python's growing success, and I think Thick as a Brick contained a lot of the elements of that rather surreal British humour. I wrote this music and lyrics pretending that the lyrics had actually been written by a precocious 12-year-old boy by the name of Gerald Bostock, and I thought everybody would get the joke. But unfortunately they didn't. A lot of people thought this was deadly serious and really believed it had been written by a 12-year-old boy. The album cover was a fold-out 16-page newspaper, and it contained local spoof, local news and gossip, and a lot of little in-jokes that were, I suppose, a little self-indulgence on our part. But the interesting thing is that it actually took as long to make this record cover, you know, in terms of all the writing and the graphic work, the layout, as it did to record the music.
Really don't mind if you set this one out. My words but a whisper, your deafness a shout. I may make you feel, but I can't make you think. Your sperm's in the gutter, your love's in the sink. So you ride yourselves over the fields, and you make all your animal deals, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick. And the sandcastle virtues are all swept away in the tidal destruction, the moral malaise. The elastic retreat brings the close of play as the last wave uncovers the newfangled way. But your new shoes are worn at the heels, and your sun tenders rapidly heal, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick. And the love that I feel is so far away. I'm a bad dream that I just well, and you shake your head and said it's a shame. Spin me back down the years and the taste of my youth. Draw the lace and black curtains and shut out the whole truth. Spin me down the long ages, let them sing the song. Over the fields, and you make all your animal deals, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a
Bye.